All right, everyone. So the budget for Gears of War was reportedly $400 million. This is Gears of War E Day we're talking about. So we're going to read a little bit here from the Gamer headline. Gears of War E Day reportedly cost a staggering 400 million to develop. Gears of War E-Day budget is insane. I've heard upwards of 400 million. Insider Gaming's Tom Henderson reported on a recent podcast. For comparison, as per leaked internal documents, Marvel's Spider-Man 2 cost roughly 300 million to develop and needed to sell 7.2 million copies at full price to break even. The best-selling entry in the series, Gears of War 2, released in 2008, sold 6.7 million copies. It's hard to imagine E-Day surpassing that figure, especially in today's climate. Xbox is a self-proclaimed hardware crisis due to a component shortage spurred on by AI data centers, meaning the console giant cannot meet the current demand. All right, so that's going into a little bit more of Xbox's issue. But let's talk about this 400 million because I do think we're missing a little bit of the point here, right? I'm not so sure that Gears of War E-Day necessarily this game itself should be viewed as this thing has to make money to be a success. If this game sold 6.75 million copies or, whatever, got near there, I think that'd be viewed as a success. This is one of your biggest franchises out there. It just is, right? This is one of the biggest franchises for Xbox. And it's been losing credibility, it's been losing steam, it's been losing everything over the past decade or so. So the point of this game is to revive that and to create a future moneymaker. And I think we do love obviously nowadays the indie games and because there's just so much better stuff coming from indie scene or smaller developers than what feels like from the big AAA developers. But if you go back to Gears of War when it was initially, Gears of War 1, Gears of War 2, it always had Gears of War was never viewed as, "Man, this game does" it always had the best graphics, right? It always was just your AAA of AAA style game, and so I think this is such a good thing for us to hear that they just said, "We're gonna go all in on making a game that is worthy of the Gears of War title," right? We didn't say, "Oh, we're gonna give it, 100 million because we just wanna break even on this one." You may not break even. You may lose money on this game, but if you revitalize the series, there's a lot of money making that could be done from the beginning until the end. And the way games are now with battle passes, which I can almost guarantee this thing will have, and all of that, there are ways to make money while the game is still going. And I do have, I know, look, a lot of people don't like some of that stuff, but for me, I have no problem spending money on Gears of War E Day, battle passes, things like that in it. I mean, it can't be a pay to win deal, but as long as it's, it's in there, if I feel like the content's good. If I think this game is great, I'll have no problem buying a battle pass. Now, I hope it's hey, you buy a $20 battle pass or something, and then you could get enough credits throughout that to get the next one, right? I don't want to have to spend every single season again and again and again, but I don't mind supporting the game if it's good, right? And I think that's how a lot of people feel. So I just when I first saw this, I fell off my chair. I was like, "This is great. This is what we needed, right? You need to have the big budget game to revitalize the series and to put as much effort into it as possible. To not cut corners, to not say, well, this thing's done. So, let's just try to break even and see if that works." No, go all out. Knock people's socks off with the graphics. And I'm not even really a graphics guy. I can give a shit about graphics in most cases. But Gears of War just, I'm just this is kind of my memory of it. There's always was an element to it of like I remember watching the IGN reviews for Gears of War 2 back in the day of like just the graphics are phenomenal. Everything about it was top tier, right? It wasn't a situation of this game's good, but it's not like no, no, no. Everything was A plus, A plus, A plus. So I hope that's what we're getting with this and $400 million budget. If this thing isn't great, I don't know what they were doing with it. All right. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.